Testing one, two, three. Testing one, two, three, four. Can everybody hear me okay? Wow, hope everybody had a great weekend. Beautiful weather here in Florida. And I think this will be a real plus for what we're going to do. And sort of breaking news because obviously, if you listen to me at all, I've been a believer in the 24-hour market. And the 24-hour market has different times throughout that market that are important to the general trend. I identified these trends many years ago when I had a Globex terminal, which was a forerunner to electronic trading. And, I stayed up at all times of night watching the markets and learning this. And so if you don't take anything else away, you ought to take away the times. I mean, they're good, they're valuable. This is what's going to happen during these times when they're important. Whatever the trend the market's in will either accelerate, go sideways, or reverse. And that's important to know, especially if you got a trade on, okay? Or you got something on and you're thinking about entering the market or exiting the market or whatever. Those times are so critical throughout that 24-hour market. They might be off 5 or 10 minutes. They're pretty exact with those times. And, I believe in the 24-hour market. I believe everybody here has a certain time that can look at the market. They can't look at the market the whole 24 hours. So let me ask that question before I get started. How many of you, what is your favorite time? Forget about the market, but your favorite time, individual time to look at the market. What's your favorite time? I'm asking that question because you're going to find out that time will coincide probably when you're your best. Yeah, all different times, all different times. Everybody's got opinions. So if you listen to me, we'll get around to it. I I've traded all those times that you are listening here, and everybody's listening times from tonight to tomorrow's close. I just think it's so important about the different things and how these connect with each other. That's important too. How many people, generally speaking, our work with the reference bars will give you 4 out of 5, okay? 4 out of 5 accuracy. But if you can connect a couple of these together, then your percentage goes up. There's 7 bars in a 24-hour market. And so if you take 20 and divide it by 7, roughly about 3% higher once you connect them together where they're working together. Does everybody understand that statement? I'll have it put, I'll have Jonathan this week put that together as I teach it. But generally speaking, you're going to be about 4 out of 5 right using the reference bar approach, but you're going to get stronger when you tie the two together. Like tonight, we start out with RB1. Let me give you the numbers from RB1. Matter of fact, Chuck posted those numbers in the TNT. Maybe Adam or Jonathan can copy and paste those in there, but that starts out my day every night, having RB1 numbers. And we'll post that in the room where you can see what I'm talking about. It's pretty powerful stuff to evaluate the trend. Who's got it, Chuck or Adam?
Just need a minute. I'm trying to get it. Chuck's not
Yeah.
in.
Sharon, RB1 is the start of the trading day. You didn't know that, did you? You thought the day started at 9:30, right? No, 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 no. Tomorrow's market starts tonight. Go look at the way they count margin and everything else. The exchanges are trading tomorrow's market right now around the globe. That's Asia, 6 p.m. And so it's very good if you know the key numbers for that time frame. And the beautiful thing about it, we post it right in our TNT room, okay? So if you look at that, we opened at 54.52. $54.52. And the high was 54.74, low was 54.11, and right now we're trading 54.40. So if you take the high, 11, the 74 is 85, we're right at the midpoint of the night. Does everybody see what I'm talking about, how important it is to know those numbers? Now, the market will get real bullish, okay? The market will get real bullish if we take out tonight's opening, which is at 54.52. And it get real bullish probably after 8:30. Do you know stocks trade at night? How many people know that you can go buy Apple tonight at 8? Did y'all know that? Yeah, all these stocks are trading at night. So let me tell you what I just said. So if the S&P futures gets above 54.52 and is heading higher, you could go buy Apple tonight in Asia. Lynn, I'm not displaying, I'm talking. I want you to listen. Okay? I want you to listen conceptually. And we'll post just for your own, we'll just post for everybody. I would print off what Adam put in there, but we will post the white papers we put together. We'll give it to you free. You ought to really study that and then get into details for you and help you. We got a big crowd here tonight, but that's the way it works. And if you got a Thinkorswim under a Schwab, it's called Good to Cancel, GTC EXTO. That's how you trade those stocks. I think you ought to learn that, okay? It's not a couple, it's hundreds of stocks that are trading tonight. Hundreds. Anyway, I wanted to get off on that. I'm going to do a lot of teaching on it this week, so maybe you can learn more, read the white papers, okay? DTItrader.com/WP, I think is the way to get the white papers. Yeah, good to cancel means the order doesn't last just one day, but it lasts until you cancel the order. That's what that means. All right, let me get into the presentation. It's a great one. Thank you for being here. Join my Telegram channel. That's TBuzz TV. That's DTItrader.com/TBuzzTV. Or join my YouTube channel where I put training into YouTube. You can join both of those tonight if you want to at no charge. You can do that, okay? Now, keep in mind, there's a high degree of risk involved in trading, and past performance is not indicative of future results. I've said that 1,000,000 times in this business. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Folks, I've got 3 books out there, wonderful books. Winning the Day Trading Games, The Markets Never Sleep, I call it the Globex years, and Trade to Win. Former Air Force officer, active trader, former member of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. These 3 books will help you understand what I'm talking about, and I encourage you to at least get the first one, and I'll give you the audio version where you don't even have to spend a dime. We'll post that in there for coming tonight. Now, DTI, our mission is to help you master the markets through education. I'm not just happy say, hey, buy Apple or buy NVIDIA. I'm really happy when you tell me you got it and I hear about your success. That's what makes me happy. We train you and we give you our experience to navigate through what I call the ups and downs of the market. In my opinion, right now with the VIX, VIX is a volatility index. You have to go look at last week's. I spent a whole series of about an hour training on the VIX, okay? And the VIX, the VIX is above 20. The VIX right now is saying that we're about 33, 34. Well, it's awful hard in a volatile market like that to be able to enter and exit markets. There's some you can, but it's very hard. The majority of markets are hard to enter and exit with a VIX that high. And I can promise you one thing. Eventually, the VIX will come back below 20 and we'll be throwing darts. That's the only thing I know. Even though past performance is not indicative of future results, it will happen again when volatility dies down. That's my opinion. Now, my schedule this week is aggressive, very aggressive. I've got a lot of training. Academy at 10, 11:30. This will be on Genesis, I believe. I think we've got a training on Genesis then. I had to double check with Jonathan, but I think so. 2 o'clock, I meet with my zebras. And tomorrow night, you ought to write this down. I'm opening up tomorrow night where you can see what I call TON. Does anybody know what TON stands for? TON? The word TON, what it means?
Jeez. Jeez.
Trade options at night. Right, TON. That's all it means. But we'll open it up tomorrow, Future Self House. I'm going to focus on the E-mini and a simple thing you can do each and every week. Okay? I'll focus on that tomorrow night. Long day, but I'm going to do it. Tuesday, you got the Academy at 10, but I'm going to have an early Connect the Dots on Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Something different. I'll do it Tuesday morning. And at 3 o'clock, we'll announce what we're doing there. Wednesday, we have the Academy at 10. We have live trading at 11:30. And we have Wednesday on the web, midweek market update. Thursday, we have a 10:30 Academy meeting, 11:30 live trading, and 3. And Friday, I guess I forgot that we do have a holiday on Friday, right? So I will do something maybe on Friday morning, what I'm thinking. I'll announce that. They used to not close the markets, but they'll be open Thursday, so we might have a review early that morning. That's our schedule. Copy it, and then try to be there, especially tomorrow night when we're going to open it up. Does everybody have that? Adam, you don't have that link yet, do you? For tomorrow night at 7?
I can get it.
Yeah, once you get it, let everybody, we got such a big crowd. It'd be great to see these people come back tomorrow night. Take your time. We have nothing but time. Yeah, there'll be some minor changes, but generally speaking, those times will be when I'll be live throughout the week. Now, who can come tomorrow night? It's the first time I've done this. It was Adam's idea to open up the futures tomorrow night. Who can come tomorrow night to see it? Okay, we'll get that link when he posts it then.
There's the registration link.
There you go. See how fast he is? He's the fastest gun in the West. Or East, I guess, right, Adam?
Yep.
All right, another website. I don't know if we put our reference page in tonight, but one of the things that I'm gonna tell you this before I get going good. There's a website I really like. It's called investing.com. I would suggest if you trade gold, you go to that website. It tracks the US dollar. The dollar they charge, the ICE exchange, I think charges $150 a month to get a live quote, but you can get it free on that website. And it's making lows right now. The dollar is, if it breaks 99, then gold is really going to surge. And if you're in futures first, if it breaks 99, I will put on a gold trade in the room tonight. Okay, up to about 9:30, I will. Okay. Slides went away. You doing something, Adam?
There was a bar that was taking away half of the top. I was trying to get away from it.
So I gotta bring up the slides.
Yeah, just click on. Yep,
How's
there
that?
you go. Perfect.
Perfect, he said. You don't get a lot of perfects out of Adam. Of course, he did move to the beach. He's living the life. Did anybody buy BITO, B-I-T-O, at 18? Anybody buy BITO at 18? It's trading at 18.50 tonight. How about that? That's pretty good, isn't it, Adam? Pay 18, it goes to 18.50. Yep, 18.50. Carol did. David did. What kind of dividend does it give? I didn't know it gave a dividend. It gives a decent one? What's the percent at 18? Do you know? Alan did. 22 is my target. Wow. Inspired by TNT when I posted it in TNT, right? So people that bought it in TNT now live on scholarship time. All right, Seven Sisters, here's where we stand for the year. This is what I focus on. E-minis down 8, NASDAQ's down 10, Dow's down 5, DAX is up 5, gold is up 22%. And it's going to go a lot higher if that dollar keeps breaking. Crude's down 14 and bonds. Okay, let me tell you something. I was looking at it and I said, April's always been a good month for trade. I mean, with the market making 1.8% up on average for the last 30 years. So I was looking at it and I said, well, how much would we have to go up to get positive for this month? I'm talking about the S&P here, right? Take a guess how much positive we'd have to get to be positive for the month. And then I'll ask, do you think it's possible? Nope. We have to get positive 4% from here to turn positive for the month. Wouldn't that be a heck of a story? If we got 4% gains from here? I think it's very possible. We got plenty of time in a month, don't we? But wouldn't that be, with all the news and tariffs, all that stuff, wouldn't that be really the story of the month if this thing reversed in April like that? I'm throwing that out there because I was shocked myself when I said we're only down 4%. Anyway, I thought that was an interesting little stat. How are you going to know if gold goes higher from here? watch the US dollar on investing.com. It breaks 99. You're going to be to the downside. Dollar gets weaker. It's going to go. All right, news this week. What do we have? We got retail sales, crude oil news, initial jobless claims, and Good Friday on Friday. Probabilities this week. Good tomorrow, good Tuesday, good Wednesday, good Thursday. You got 4 strong probable days this week. The market's off to a good start. If it takes out 54.50, might be okay. If you know what I mean. Might be okay. Here's my 10 tickers for the week. Berkshire, boy, that's been a stallion of a stock, hasn't it? Berkshire. Well, here's the next breakout number for Berkshire. 530.50. 530.50. GLD has been another star for Berkshire. Or not Berkshire, gold. Gets above 300, we're breaking new highs. It's at an all-time high on the metal. You probably are going to get that kind of run if you have a good first hour tomorrow. Bitto, there it is. The next buying point's 1855. We're 1849. The Johnny come lately. What do they say for ladies coming lately? It's always Johnny. 1855. BJ's bullish above 1855. And here's something new. And I like this, and I'm going to trade it probably this week. I was thinking how to make more money out of Berkshire rather than just straight options. And I looked at BRKU. That's 2x. So, for example, Berkshire was up 1.5% on Friday. So it would be up 3% with the same dollars. Everybody see where I'm coming from with this BRKU? I'll be looking at it this week for a buy point on BRKU. That's Berkshire 2 times the movement. If I think it's going higher, why not get paid twice as much? Anybody like that line of thinking? If it's going higher, why not get paid with the same dollars twice as much? I sort of like it, so I brought it new. Now here's a stock I mentioned 3 weeks ago, said it's a buy. Harmony Gold. Harmony Gold, if it goes above 1855, it goes to a new level. When I first mentioned it was at 14. Keep your eye on that one. And then, of course, I put TQQ and SQQ. Whichever one is first to those numbers will probably be the trend of the week. If TQQ gets above 53.55, we're going higher. If SQQ gets above 58.11, we're probably going lower. I thought that would be helpful to you for a trend of the week to have those numbers. Those are my 10 tickers. Any questions about the 10 tickers tonight? This is a fan favorite. And a fan favorite means we brought it back, and then everybody says, what's the 10 tickers on Sunday night? Well, here they are. The price of gold right now is $3,242. Gold, that's Barrick Gold, Bruce. That's Barrick Gold. It's a ticker on gold. It's the gold related. Anyway, 10 tickers, part of being here on Sunday night. There you have it. Hope you make some money. Set alerts at these numbers. 3 to 5 of them tick off over the course of the week. They're usually pretty big. Now, I also put tonight a little something here to help you. These are numbers that if you see, we have to get and refigure a few things. If you see the E-mini go below 48.45, 48.45, NASDAQ, 16,460. NVIDIA goes below 86.62. That's bad news. Apple below 169. The bond play, TLT, below 85. The VIX goes above 45. That's bad for the general market. The US dollar breaks 98. That would be, right now we're on a 3-year low. That would take out 5 years and put gold really up there. You'd really get gold moving if that happened. This is something that I thought would help people. Does this help y'all with these numbers here, having these numbers to take with you tonight and set alerts and stuff? It sort of frames the current environment. And I wanted to do that, a little extra work, but I figured y'all so good to me, I thought I'd be good to you to have those numbers. Those are the warning track numbers. Now, last week we had a high 55.28 and a low of 48.30. QQQ had a high of 467.83, a low of 402. The SPY had a high of 548.62, a low of 481.30, and gold had a high of 299.27. Notice I got that gold up there at 355, telling us that the dollar's probably getting a lot weaker, and that's quite a movement off that low. Everybody got it? Any questions about what I've covered so far? I've given you some valuable information to lay out a good plan for the week. Now, who here really wants to be on the front row of history being made in this market? Who wants to be on the front row? Well, I've been working on this for a long time, and I got it ready to go tomorrow morning. Let me tell you about it. First of all, a little background. One of my pet peeves is if I see things in the market, being able to let you know about that. And I'm a big believer in Telegram. Telegram to me is one of the best free applications out there because I can post things in there. Okay. And I think that is very, very important. And I have a program called TNT, T-Bus Talk and Trade. People that are in TNT will tell you it might be one of the best programs I got because I'm constantly putting information in there that's current, that affects the current market. Not just news information. I'm talking about actionable things that are important. Okay? Like, for example, if the dollar breaks those numbers I'm talking about, I'm going to put in the TNT, guys. We got to find some more gold. That's what I'm going to put in there. And that's what I'm telling you is the focus this week. If the S&P goes up and is going higher, and I think we can make some money, I'm going to put that in TNT too. That's an insight. I do insights in there and trades, but I do insights throughout the week. Now, here's the breaking news. I've got a beta program inside my TNT Telegram. It's going to last 45 days. Here's my thoughts. I'm going to demonstrate for the next 45 days the sunrise signal. It's very similar to Genesis, which is a big success, and I'm going to do the sunrise signal in the pre-market. I've got it programmed, and I'm going to get feedback from you as I pretty it up, okay, where anybody can understand it. And so tomorrow morning at 10 after 7, we'll get a signal. It will tell us, should we buy gold or not buy gold? Way ahead of people even getting out of bed. And it'll happen after 10 after 7. Y'all remember the big day that we had, when was it, last week? Last week is Wednesday, right? When we had market was up 12%. Y'all remember that? Huge day up. Everybody made a bunch of money being long. Everybody remember that? You know, the sunrise signal told us at 7 o'clock it was going to happen. Genesis told us at 12. 7:10 Eastern time when it posts, but you can use it for the next 2.5 hours. If you sleep in, you still use it. And it's good to refer back to when you're looking at the opening at 9:30. Now, a little bit about TNT, just give you I really don't do it justice doing this, but I'm gonna just give you an overview. Here's what goes on. Start every morning, and I'll start tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock, posting my analysis of the overnight markets. I'll look at what happens in Asia and what's happening in Europe, and you will know about 5 in the morning how we come into the day. It builds that ladder of direction. And here's some examples of postings in there, okay? I talked about gold that morning, okay? I posted the fact they were selling bonds that day. You know, when China was selling bonds early in the morning, people in TNT knew that's what I was thinking. I talked about bank earnings being good. JP Morgan reported, and I said, that's a pretty good report. Throughout the entire day, we post key numbers and information like you saw tonight, RB1, that you should have printed off. It's the inside look at the day market. Here's some highlights. I also find 5 stocks that are going to be hot that day. In fact, I've had 3 or 4 people, if I forget to post the 5 stocks each day, they'll text me, hey, Tom, what's the magic 5? Here's why. Look at Friday's magic 5. You think you might have made money in gold if you knew you had that as a ticker? Or silver or Berkshire? Berkshire was up 1.5% on Friday. Folks, this is the real deal here. You get it from me in the morning, and I always post the magic 5 after I do my overnight analysis. I post my daily pivot number. It's another big winner for people. I told people if the market's above 5,300, we're going higher. You know that we closed at 54.36 on Friday? How much is that worth, having that daily pivot number to build your trade day around? It's real, as Patricia just said. Right there is 5,300. Let's dance. We do a daily rundown. We have a page that shows what happens overnight, key trading levels, and news for the day ahead. There it is. I print that out every day too. Like, you know, you'll hear there's news at 9:30, there's news at 10. It's on the daily rundown. You don't have to go search. It's really a daily research thing for you to keep informed what's happening that day, or some stock that might be moving. Major events. What's hot and what's not. Hey, you need to avoid this stock day. It's falling out of bed. Lulu, y'all remember when it fell out of bed? Reference bar key numbers. Learn how to read the tape at key times during 24-hour market. Every reference bar, we gave you the white papers, and here are the times. We'll type it into the room. 6 o'clock in the evening, 4:30 a.m. in the morning, 7 o'clock a.m., that's the X bar, 9:30, 11:30 is Genesis, 1:30 is RB4, and then 3:30 is the closing bell. All those numbers, all those things are posted inside the room where you can print it off no matter what time, day or night, you come into the market. There's Friday. That was reference bar 2. That was 5 o'clock in the morning. There's the number. There's the reference bar key number. That was number 4. And you'll look at number 4 because it controls a little bit what happens tonight, taking those numbers. I'd print that one off too. We have a special monthly edition. You know, we look out 4 weeks to month, 2 months out for what we call longer term option trading. You know, stocks that markets are primed to go higher. We call it the option blueprint. I was going to sell it as a separate service. I decided to include it in here because y'all loved it so much in the TNT. I said, heck with it. Let's just make it part of TNT. Talk and Trade, you ain't gonna believe this, is only $200. And you can cancel any time. But if you join tonight, you'll get TNT for the rest of April and all of May. And during that time period, guess what? Guess what'll happen? You'll be getting the sunrise signal during that time period only as we develop it together. I'll be comments about it each and every day. Now, full month of May, all the way through May, plus the remaining 2/3 of April completely will be free if you buy tonight. Now, here's what's coming to TNT. The beta test inside TNT. The benefit from the pre-market signal I've been working on that we automated inside the TNT channel starting tomorrow morning. You don't have to wait. Now, let me say, what if it comes up and says, go long, go? Would you know how to make money if you knew and had confidence it would work? Y'all tell me, would that be a yes if it said go long, go at 7:10 in the morning? I don't know if it's going to say it or not, but if it did, would you be able to make money? Well, the odds of it working are 4 out of 5. Think about that if it says go long, go or go long to market. Anyway, that'll be posted at 10 after 7 tomorrow for your use. 10 minutes after 7 Eastern time every day, automatically. Here's the tickers we'll look at first. The SPY, the QQQ, the SQQ, the TQQ, and we'll add gold also. All with the long, shorter out signals at that time. I'll be teaching a master class tomorrow on this at 3 o'clock to make sure everybody understands how to use it. Tomorrow is the first day for us to look at it, and I'll make some changes if I don't think it's right. And here it is. The sunrise signal is what I call it. Go to dtitrader.com/TNT2. Get your spot. Be there with us as we develop the sunrise signal together, and all the other good things about TNT will go on. Folks, I'm on top of it. Be on top of it with me. Tomorrow morning, the signal will fire, and then we will evaluate it, analyze it, and make sure everybody, no matter what your experience level, that's why I'm doing a 3 o'clock masterclass tomorrow, to make sure that everybody gets the most out of what to do with the information. Like I did with Genesis, I'm going to do it with the sunrise signal. Any questions? It's all automatic, appears on your computer once you get into the Telegram channel, TNT. It'll be there tomorrow. Again, it's only a limited edition run, 45 days. But what a heck of a way to see it. Who's got questions for me? Nobody's got any questions? Who's going to be there tomorrow? Who's going to take this opportunity and take this and see what I'm talking about? Is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. Do I think it's great? Yeah, I do think it's great. And guess what? It starts tomorrow. No, it will not replace the Magic 5. No, 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 no. That's a core thing in TNT. I'm just going to run it for 45 days in there just to see we get it right. And the masterclass will be recorded. Yes, definitely. Great question. We've done a lot of thinking on this. I believe in this 24-hour market. This is the first part of being able to satisfy people around the globe with these signals. Pretty simple to sign up. Going to cost you $200. Get signed up. Yeah, if you're already in TNT, This is for new people to join tonight. This is for new people. I cut them a deal to get in. You pay $200 a month, but I'm giving them a deal just to see how valuable it is. And I want to get their ideas of what they see with the sunrise signal. Does that make sense? What I'm doing with this promotion? I think it's a good way to promote it, a good way to do it. All right, anybody got any questions they want to ask me before I get ready to put on my trading shoes? SP said, I'm already a VIP for TNT, best decision I ever made. Thank you. Charles asked, what's my favorite time to trade? Let me answer it this way, Charles. Anytime I make money. I've already I traded gold tonight already. Claire just joined. Thank you, Claire. Claire, where are you from? Yes, if you're already in TNT, you're getting rewarded here. Yes. What am I looking at tonight? I'm looking at those RB1 numbers I took from TNT. That's what I'm looking at. The nice thing about it with the master class tomorrow, you'll be able for 2.5 hours control the action on the board with the sunrise signal. And I mean that even if you sleep to 8, you still use it up to opening. Absolutely. Will says, you ought to copy what Will said. TNT is the first thing he looks at every morning, gives all the info to the flavor of the market each day. That's right. Exactly. William says, which reference bar is most important? Probably the Genesis reference bar is most important, but all the other ones count equally good. Roger, when you joined TNT, did you know it would be this good? Get to try this beta sunrise. I didn't talk about that, did I? The beta is something I worked on for about 2 years, and now I want to let you see it because a lot of keeping up with these numbers around the clock, it's a lot of work, isn't it? Yeah, it comes on Telegram. It'll be in Telegram for you. Definitely it'll be on Telegram. Sue says, do I ever sleep? Of course I sleep. Yep. Roger, this is sort of custom made for you because you can do this before you get to work, can't you? All right, I forgot to mention, and you need to write this down. We'll talk about it sometime this week. We have our anniversary class next week, 2 days of solid training. I have a small class, but it's sold out, but it's going to be a pretty busy 4 days week after this week. And then this week's busy also. Everything works off each other. Read the white papers on the reference bar. Every one of these reference bars are good. and you need to learn the little things about each of them. It sure is, Don. It sure is. Haven't priced it yet, Glenn. I haven't priced it yet. That's why I'm doing it this way, to let everybody see it for 45 days and make sure you get as much out of it as I do. Okay? That's why I'm doing it this way. So I made a good deal for TNT to come in that and see it, but at the same time, they're gonna get to see the sunrise signal. Yeah, 30-minute reference bars is what I use. Absolutely. All right, folks, thank you for being here tonight. We got a huge crowd. You got the link for tomorrow night. You'll get invited there. I'm gonna wrap it up. Hopefully we'll let it expire. I'll see everybody at AM in the morning. I'll be in the TNT room after the signal's posted, make sure it comes out and give you my analysis. Y'all have a good night. Thank you very much. Yeah, I really want